Hello, 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 and welcome to Starry Tarot. Hi, Mahogany. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I didn't receive your donation. Where did you donate, hun? On Cashapp. Okay, let's see here. Oh, how strange. Yeah, I didn't get a notification, but I got it. Thank you so much, love. Thank you, thank you. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. And for those of you who are joining us who may be new, welcome to Starry Tarot. My name is Sophie, and thank you for your subscription and welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Good to see you. Don't be shy. Say hi if you want. All of my donation information can be found at the top of the chat there. I accept PayPal, Venmo, Cashapp, and I also accept SuperChat. The donation amounts are slightly different. YouTube takes 30%, but it is there as an option for your convenience. Should I tell Reese I will be in Georgia for Halloween or say nothing? Okay. And Mahogany, what's your sign again? You're a Leo, right? And what's Reese's sign? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese that she will be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese that she will be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese she will be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese that she will be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese that she will be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese that she will be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese she will be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese she'll be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese she'll be in Georgia for Halloween? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Should Mahogany tell Reese she'll be in Georgia for Halloween? He's a Taurus. Okay, let's see. We have 10 of Wands reversed, Temperance, the Star, 9 of Cups reversed, and 4 of Cups reversed. My answer is yes. With Temperance and the Star, those are definitely cards of communication. Those are cards of sharing. So I am seeing that you should. Spirit is saying that it would be that you should tell him, but you should also be prepared for things possibly not going the way that you would ideally want them to go. And I think that goes with anything. There is, you are taking a chance here, as we do with anything in life. There might be some disappointment in the sense that I'm not saying that he won't respond to you, because with this Temperance card and the Star, it's an equal balance of give and take, of a flow of energy and or communication. So and we just received a donation from Wendy. Thank you so much, Wendy. I will add you in just a moment. Actually, I'll add you right now before we get into this deeper. Do you talk to Reese on a regular basis, Mahogany? Or has it been a little while since the two of you have communicated? So I should take the chance even though it may not go right. That's what Spirit is saying. Spirit is saying that it could go either way. It looks like the two of you possibly haven't spoken for a little while with this Four of Cups reverse, because this is showing me that it was a couple of days ago, but it's been a couple of days. Okay, yeah, it looks like you're not entirely satisfied with the way things are between the two of you right now, and I would imagine that would be distance with this Ten of Wands reversed, and that distance would obviously, not be an issue. When I'm assuming he's in Georgia too. Or am I not getting it right here? Is there a distance between the two of you? Because there's some kind of strain between the two of you that I'm seeing, that I'm also seeing would go away once you're in Georgia. Okay, so he's in Georgia. Yeah, I would tell him, is that the reason why you're going? Or are you going for other reasons? Because I'm also seeing that you're not entirely you're not entirely satisfied with the way this connection is going at this time. There are aspects about it that you do definitely appreciate and want to hold on to. But I think the distance is a big part of it. And like I said, I don't know if you're going to Georgia solely to see him. Now I'm going to hang out with someone else, honestly, but I mean, I did think about telling him. Okay, so you're not going to see him, you're going to see someone else. Okay, but you did, I did think about telling him. Okay, so you're going to see someone else, but he's still in the back of your mind. I understand. Yeah, I think it would be good for you to tell him that you're going to be there. It could go either way. I mean, you don't want to set yourself up for disappointment. Like if the reason why, if you know you're going to be really hurt and disappointed if he doesn't respond, then I wouldn't. If it's like that, if it's like hinging on that. But if it's not, if him not responding, is not that big of a deal, I would just go for it anyway. I just don't want to ruin my time there by telling him. How would it is that, would it ruin your time there? That's what I'm asking. Is it would him not responding ruin your time, or would him possibly being kind of clingy ruin your time? I don't know. It just sounds like there are dissatisfactions within this connection. Um, there could definitely be some benefits from telling him. Is what I'm seeing here. It would not be totally disadvantageous to tell him, so long as it doesn't affect your entire well-being here. It wouldn't completely, but it would annoy me if he acts like he did the last time I told him I was there. Okay, so he does have a tendency to be kind of wishy-washy or standoffish. Yeah, that's irritating. That's irritating. I can understand. Yeah, so if that chance is there, I mean, Spirit is saying yes, you should, but this is the one time I just listening to you, I would I don't want to say I'm disagreeing with Spirit, but just from a logical standpoint, if it had even the chance of ruining it in even the slightest amount, I don't know if taking that chance is super worth it. It's definitely not a strong yes. No, it's saying that you should, but be prepared for things to go. Things could really go 50-50. It's a 50-50 chance. It's not like it's a super strong no or a super strong yes. Spirit is just saying, yeah, throw it out there, but do bear in mind that he is who he is, and he has a tendency to be standoffish, and he may be that way this time. He may have plans with someone else. He may want to just pull away at this time. And if that's going to stand to hurt you, then I would protect myself. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're already going, that's the thing, is if you're already going there to see someone else and you already have plans, that's what I think Spirit is saying, is there's no harm in throwing it out there, because you already have plans, you already have somebody else that you're seeing. But if it's, I think this is just a test. I think this is actually more of a test, Mahogany, testing how much you allow other people to affect you. Having self-sovereignty and not allowing people to affect you. And I think and having that strength. But it's also, there's also reason to stand to protect yourself as well, if you know that you're vulnerable to that. So I think that's part of it. I think Spirit does want you to take a chance. Like, so what if he doesn't respond to you? You still got other things. But at the same time, coming from a human standpoint, you don't want to ruin your time there. But I also hear what they're saying. It's like you don't want to allow him to ruin your time there. So it could go either way here. It could go either way. I think it's more of a testament to that, testing your strength and how much power you're willing to, or you're allowing to give him to affect you, um, in either his response yes or no, or no response. Okay, but I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. So that's the thing, is I have a feeling you're gonna have a great time regardless as to whether you see him or hear from him at all. Right? I mean, he won't ruin it, because I do know what to expect. Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. Is it sounds like you definitely know his patterns. You know his behavior. You know what to expect. And people do change over time. Yeah, and he really, like I said, he really could go either way. It's like a 50-50 here. He really could go either way. But you, at the same time, you know what to expect. There is that possibility of disappointment. So a big part of me doesn't think it would ruin your trip at all, because A, you already know that, and B, you're already seeing somebody else and have other activities lined up and other things lined up. So, yeah, I mean, I think spirit is onto something here. You can hold your own. Yeah, from him at least. Exactly, exactly. And I think that you're gonna have a great time. I think you're gonna have a great time regardless. Um, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mahogany. You have a. When are you leaving? Because I know, yeah, Halloween's on a Friday. Yeah, it's something to think about, Mahogany. Basically, like, it's really up to you. If you're reaching out to him with the sole purpose of him reaching out to you, just know that there's a chance that he might not reach out to you. Hey, Jessica, what's up, girl? Good to see you. That's always something that we need to take into consideration. And if we know it's going to affect us too much, then maybe it's best not to. But it sounds like you have a good hold on this. Yeah. Thank you very, very much. You'll have a great time regardless. You will have a wonderful time. Miss Wendy, thank you so much for your donation. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. It's going, Jessica. It's going. I was going to head back to my place today. I was going to head back to the city, but I didn't. And I kind of had. I don't have any work with my other job, so I was just like, get some other stuff done here. How did Samuel feel when he saw me walking by today? I'll throw it out there, I guess, and just forget the rest. I think that's a good way of looking at it, Mahogany. Yeah, just throw it out there. And I think that's kind of what that temperance and the star card is all about. Is just throwing it out there, without any real intent. If he says yes, he said. If he responds, he responds. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But I usually throw it out to whoever I know when I'm visiting a city that lives there. And sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. Your reading for my daughter was so helpful. She said she keeps rewatching it and she keeps researching the cards you pulled. That's wonderful to hear, Jessica. That is wonderful to hear. I'm so glad I was able to help. I really am. How is she doing? How's everything going there? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How did Samuel feel when he saw Wendy walk by today? Ups and downs, like you said, but better, much better. Yeah, the ups and downs. But I'm glad to hear she's better. We have 3 of Pentacles reversed, 9 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and 9 of Wands reversed. Okay, Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands. First thing that he felt or thought was, how the heck am I going to be able to work here collaboratively with 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 Wendy? Because Three of Pentacles is all about collaborative working together. And we just received a donation from Robert Robinson. Thank you so much, Robert, for your donation. Let me quickly add you here. Yeah, that was the first thing that came to his mind, was how the heck am I supposed to work with Wendy collaboratively? How am I supposed to work here in this environment? This is going to be very, very challenging. And a wave of anxiety came over him, and worry and doubt with this Nine of Swords. He's doing his best. He's doing his very, very best to just keep moving forward and to just focus on work and focus on the task at hand with this Page of Pentacles. He's really, really trying to hold stuff down and to stay locked in, because he's really, his emotions are really overtaking him in a way that he's really not used to, not accustomed to. There was also a feeling of nostalgia, a wave of nostalgia that came over him with the Six of Pentacles. Was like, which makes sense. I mean, he's returning to a former workplace, a former environment that he used to work in. It wasn't too long ago that he left, but there are feelings, certain feelings that he had exclusively there that he noticed are returning. But most of all, he wants to stay away from any kind of emotional or social interactions while he's back at your work with this Nine of Wands reversed. He's exhausted emotionally, energetically, and I'm not saying you're not either, but it really took a lot out of him, and now he's returning to this very sour point that he didn't think he was going to return to. And things haven't been resolved. Things likely won't be resolved, and it's very problematic. It's more than he can handle right now, and he's really just trying to keep his head down and focus on work, despite the wave of emotions that came over him when he did see you today. So there was quite a bit that transpired there, a whole wave of different emotions that came over him when he saw you, that he thought he had in control, that he thought he had in check. But it's much harder for him to control than he thought it would be, not to control, but to work through and work past. Because he's just feeling exhausted, and it just brought up this wave of anxiety and fears. So it did not feel particularly good for him today, Wendy. And I'm not like, oh, boo-hoo, oh, so sad for Samuel. But it also stands to reason too, with the way that things ended when he left not too long ago. This Three of Pentacles reverse, like, how is he supposed? I know that you guys aren't on the same team, so you guys likely won't have to work collaboratively. But there likely will be some point where you guys will have to interact at some point, work-wise. And he's just questioning, like, how am I going to work through this, and he's doing his very best. I'm all about being professional, collaborative. That's it. I do miss him, but it's for the best. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Um, and the problem is that I just don't see him changing. I don't see him turning a new leaf when it comes to his behaviors and his actions towards you, despite his emotions towards you that are clearly still there with these feelings that were racked up. But the fact that he's reticent to work collaboratively, that's problematic. Or feeling like he'll be, it's not that he's reticent to, it's that he's feeling that he's unable to or incapable of doing so. The last time I reached out for a status update, I kept it short and professional. Yeah, that's really all you can, and all I think you should do, really, Wendy, is just keep this short and sweet with him, with all your interactions with him, because he's already finding it difficult to envision working collaboratively with you. That was the first thing that came to his mind when he saw you today. Um, so yeah, I would do my very best to just keep it short and sweet, because he's just bogged down with anxiety and feelings of insecurity and lack of stamina, and in terms of being able to even collaboratively work with you, because he just had this wave of bad emotions that came up. That Nine of Swords is just anxiety and fear, and he left things on a bad note last time, and nothing was resolved, and it's it doesn't look like and he's the one that really needs to resolve things. I mean, it takes two, but he needs to initiate, and I don't see him intending on doing that. That's the problem. At least not at this point, maybe further down the road, but at this point, I would just, yeah, just do your very best to work with him collaboratively if need be, when need be, um, because it might be a challenge with him. Or at least he thinks it might be a challenge. Um, I didn't know he was starting so soon. I had no idea he was starting as soon as he did. I thought it was going to be in like a month or something. Wow. Okay. Wow. So he left not too long ago. He only left like 3 months ago, right? Or 2 months ago, and now he's already back. I was just going to say you didn't I thought, yeah, so that's why you didn't tell me. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was going to be in a little while, but that was very soon. It was just like wham bam. He just kind of came right back. So yeah, it's still very fresh. It's still very fresh here. And it's still something that he has not healed from, and neither of you. And um but I also feel like he needs to take the first step here, and I feel like you've made all the efforts you can, and um, all you can really do is do your best to work collaboratively with him, despite him having his fears. It's not like we broke up, and exactly. It's not even like you guys ever officially were together. And he could have done something, and he still can do something, and he still can say something, at least to try and rectify things, and you know bring some peace and equilibrium to things. If he sees that this is so disharmonious or scary that he finds it, the idea of working collaboratively with you, to be a challenge, then why isn't he thinking about ways in which to make things better? The other way he's acting, I just assumed he doesn't care. No, he cares very much so. He cares a lot. With that Nine of Swords, that's anxiety pure and through. And you don't worry about things that you don't care about. He's like really really beset with a lot of anxiety here. Um, he didn't clean. He left things a mess. He left things. He didn't clean up his mess before he left. He left things on a really sour note, and that's got to. I mean, I was gonna say it's gonna have to be embarrassing, humiliating. I think that is part of it for him. I think he does feel rather. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad for him or make excuses for him, but that's just where he's coming from. Is he does throw a lot of pity parties for himself. He is kind of a pity party kind of guy. I do feel he wallows a lot when he can make actual changes, because he knows the changes he wants to see. He could take action. Yeah. I'm sorry, Miss Wendy. That's tough. Yeah, I had no idea he was coming back so soon. No idea. Um, and how long is he here for? I guess I'll make it easier for us both and stay away. If you don't have, well, yeah, Wendy, if you don't have to be around him, I would stay away from him. I mean, I don't know if you tried to see him today. I wouldn't try to see him. I wouldn't try to be around him. If you don't have to work with him, don't work with him. I would just stay away. It's just going to, unless he really tries to like make an effort to yeah, yeah. Unless he tries to make an effort to make things right with you, I would definitely avoid him, because there's and I think that should be pretty easy. I don't think you guys are gonna have to work together much on this project, if at all. I think you can definitely avoid him quite easily, without trying. Hopefully, but I don't think he'll be too much in your sphere at all here. Because yeah, unless he comes to you and tries to make good, he includes me in emails, but that's it. Okay, yeah, just professional stuff. That's it. That's it. That's even got to be rough too. I understand. Just like seeing someone's name in your inbox. Yeah. Robert Robinson, thank you for your donation. I don't know if you wrote your question. No, you did not. So we will wait for you. You are very welcome, Wendy. Thank you, love. Thank you so much. Yeah, I had no idea he was coming back so soon. Dios míos, I had no idea. Robert Robinson, please come to the chat. It is your turn. Thank you. They sat him right next to the engineering manager I check in with every day, so that's annoying, but I'll keep it to emails for the time being and visit less. Yeah. Yeah, that is a good strategy there, Wendy. That's a good strategy, I think. I'm sorry that they placed you so close to him. Um, but I don't think that, or do you know if you'll be working collaboratively a lot on this project? Are you guys on the same team? Or Robert Robinson, please come to the chat. It is your turn. Thank you. Oh, you are on the same project, but they haven't needed any support so far. Okay, okay. I didn't know. Okay, so you guys are on the same project. Dang. Robert Robinson, it is your turn. And thank you for your additional donation. That was why we were always together. Yeah, yeah, because you guys were on the same team. I remember you guys were working a lot together. I'm not seeing Robert in the chat, but I'm getting Robert's super chats. I don't know what's going on. Robert, well, if Robert's unable to chat in the chat, then he wouldn't be able to say if he was able to or not. Um, Everyone else is still able to communicate in the chat, right? Robert, if you're not able to chat for some reason, you're going to want to message me your question. Either you can email it to me or you can send it to me over Instagram. But I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so I don't know where Robertson, Robert Robinson went. I guess we'll just wait on him. But until then, the donation queue is currently open. We are waiting on Robert. I also offer mediumship readings if anyone is interested in that. Please look at the information if you are interested in that. I also request that we check in to see if the person who you are trying to get into contact with is available to communicate with me. They often are, but I always like to check beforehand. I also do soulmate confirmation readings. Those are pretty straightforward, I think. We simply ask your spirit guides if somebody in your life is indeed a soulmate of yours, or conversely, we can ask if your spirit guides give their blessings. Sorry, I have cat hairs on my lipstick because I just cuddled a kitty cat. I also do past life regression readings. I've been studying past life regression. I guess my study of past life regression kind of goes into my studies of mediumship as well and my knowledge of that. But I've been studying past life regression therapy since I was a kid, and I have been doing past life regression. I've put other people under, or I've used guided meditation to help people discover past lives, and I also have a method that I use using tarot and my connection with spirit. So if that is something you are interested in, please let me know. And it also doesn't have to be strictly for the sole purpose of discovering a past life that's most relevant to your life right now. It could be for any number of reasons. We can look into whatever your intention may be or whatever your question may be. I also answer all sorts of questions. No, I don't answer legal or medical questions or legal medical questions. I've had quite a few of those, and no, I can't answer them, sadly. Please go to a professional. I answer a lot of love, romance questions, a lot of spiritual questions, a lot of finance questions, career, but I answer a lot of romance questions. And a lot of people come to me asking, how does so-and-so think about me, or how does so-and-so feel about me? I can answer all three questions in one, or I can answer three questions, three, I think, pertinent questions in one. Someone's thoughts, their feelings, and their intentions towards you. And it's no additional donation amount. It's the same as the amounts listed at the top of the chat. And it answers three questions in one. I also offer private readings off of this live stream by appointment only. Please email me if you are interested in that. It's one-on-one via Zoom. Today is a temporary setup. I will be back to my normal setup come Thursday, where you can see the cards as well as me. Or if you don't want to see me, that's fine. I can also remove my face. But you can always see the cards and you will hear me. And we will be talking one-on-one. You can give me all the context and backstory you would like. We can talk for as long as you like. If we end up going over the allotted time, with time permitted, we can continue going over the allotted time. But yeah, that is by appointment only. Please email me if that is something that you would like to schedule, or you can always message me over DMs on Instagram. Please go follow me over on Instagram. This is, here's my Instagram account. So yes, the donation queue is technically open as we are waiting for Robin. So whoever donates next will be next until Robin is here. Hello. Hi, Robert. Sorry, I accidentally wrote your name down as Robin. No, you're here. You are fine. Thank you so much for being here, Robert. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please go ahead and post your question. My girlfriend and I just broke up. We're always back and forth. I'm sorry to hear that, Robert. What is her name? Oh, okay. How long have the two of you been together? And what is your question? Her name is Valerie, and what is her sign? What is your sign? And what is your question? $10. Okay. She's a runner, like a professional, like she runs. Oh, you mean from relationships? And I call her out on it, and then we argue. Okay, sorry, 1 second. Okay. Hers is Sagittarius, mine is Scorpio. Okay. What does the future have for us? Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Sorry, 1 second here. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What does the future hold for Robert and Valerie? No, she always has something to do come 11 o'clock at night. Yes, something always comes up, and it's always between 11 and 11:30 at night, and she has to leave usually 3 times a week. Okay. Yeah, that's a little strange. We have 10 of Wands, the Chariot, 7 of Cups reversed, Temperance reversed, Page of Wands reversed, and Queen of Wands. I'm sure you don't want to hear this, Robert, but I don't know if I've read for you before, but I'm a very honest tarot reader. I'm kind. I'm always kind. I'll always say things with kindness, but I'm not here to sugarcoat things or to not tell you what I'm seeing. But this does not look good. This doesn't look good at all. It looks like things. This might be the end. If things do move forward, if you guys do get back together, there's going to be a lot of, there's going to be, and with every relationship, there's ups and downs. We know this, you know, there's ups and downs, there's good and bad in every relationship. That's just the way things are, yin and yang. However, Spirit is saying that the difficulties would far outweigh the triumphs in your connection. There would be a lot of battles, uphill battles to fight. One in particular that it would be particularly challenging to overcome for the two of you, especially you. Spirit is saying that it's time to move forward. It's time to move on with the Chariot. It's time. It would be in both of your best interests to move on. That she is no longer, she's not someone that your spirit guides feel that you should be considering as a long-term love in your life. I know you've said twice now that she's the love of your life, and I know that feeling. And it doesn't mean that she is not significant in your life or wasn't a significant part of your life or isn't going to be a significant part of your life in the grand scheme of things. She was meant to be in your life for a specific amount of time, but Spirit is saying that time has run its course with this Temperance reversed. Things are very imbalanced. Again, if it's more of a choice here. She will likely, if you want to continue things with her, she very well might, because I'm gonna guess that she ended things here. It might have been mutual, but I'm gonna guess that she ended things. If you try to get back, and I might be wrong though, but if you try to get back together with her, Spirit is saying that it's likely that she will say, okay, let's try and work this out. But there will be deceit, there will be lies, there will be an imbalance in one person putting in all the work and trying to make this work and trying to fix this, and one person just sitting back and doing nothing. With this Temperance reverse, also a symbol of that, an imbalance and time running out, or something having ran its course. And Spirit is saying that there's only so much, there's only so much that's in your hands here with this Page of Wands reversed. You can't force love. None of us can force love. None of us can force relationships. It might just be that this could be a case of wrong place, wrong time. Like right now, it just might not be the right time. Like I said, she could pop back into your life later on. In terms of how things unfold, but Spirit is saying with this Page of Wands reversed that there's only so much that you can do here, and they see that you'd be willing to put in all the work necessary to make this, to fix this, to put this back. I am telling you straight. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm telling you straight, 100%. Is that you there's only so much you can do, and the things that you can do, that you can take into your hands, you already have taken into your hands, or you would gladly take in your hands, like more open communication, possibly going to counseling, couples counseling. You would do all those things in a heartbeat, but there's only so much that those things can do to repair a connection. Both people have to be on board. It takes two to tango, and I just see her, I see one person putting in all the work, and that might be her, but I have a feeling it's you. I have a feeling that you'd be the one who'd be putting in all the work here. I could be wrong, but I am seeing an imbalance here, a fundamental imbalance. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like she's stepped out, Robert. And when you mentioned that she leaves at 11 o'clock every night from 11 to 11:30, 3 times, or not every night, but 3 times a week, and she's not telling you where she's going. I mean, unless she's like planning some big surprise for you for half an hour a week, I don't know. It sounds a little fishy. And if she's not cheating on you, I do just get the sense that she is disengaged. I know that you hold a very strong torch for her, as you've said. She's the love of your life. I know she means a whole lot to you. I have no doubt about that. But what I think is more important to analyze here is how much do you mean to her? And if she's going out cheating on you, that's actions speak louder than words. That's wildly disrespectful. You would never do that. You would never do that to her. I don't think you would. You do not strike me as the type who would, and I don't even know you, but you don't strike me as the type who would do that to her. You sound very devoted to her. And yeah, I don't know if she's given you a reason as to, or if she's told you where she's going 3 times a week, if she has a class, or if there's something she's doing. But if she's hiding something from you, that's not a good sign. She doesn't know how to communicate. She's very secretive. Gotcha. Okay. That's not good. Yeah, it's okay for us to live our own lives. I don't know if you guys live together, but when you're in a relationship with someone, there is a certain level of transparency that needs to be shared between 2 individuals. You need to know where someone is. You don't need to, but yeah, you shouldn't be questioning where someone is physically or emotionally. I did and would. Oh, you have cheated on her? Okay, so there's already, okay, so you've cheated on her already. So that might be what's going on, Robert, is the trust has been broken. If you've already cheated on her and you think that she's cheating on you, and it kind of sounds like she is, she could be retaliating here. And if that's not something that, if you're not open to an open relationship, then I just don't see how this is going to work. It's all right till the next day. What do you mean? Oh, it's all night till the next day. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that sounds, I don't know, that sounds suspicious. Sounds like a lot of trust has been compromised here, Robert, and it can be very hard to move past that for anybody in a relationship. And it sounds like both of you have some trust issues here, and that can be really difficult. She denies it, but my gut tells me otherwise. Okay, yeah. No, I would not do that. Oh, okay. I was just going to say, but Robert, I was just, okay, you haven't. Okay, good boy, good man, good man. I was just going to say, Robert, but you just said you cheated on her. Can you see where she's coming from? I was just going to say that to you. Okay, good. You did not cheat on her. I was going to say, but dude, like, okay. It doesn't give anyone the right to just go out, and I don't agree with that. If someone cheats on you and you're not happy with that, you should leave. You shouldn't do the same to them. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's not what's going on. Okay, but I do get, and so I was going to say, you might be suspicious because you cheated on her, but no, you didn't cheat on her. Okay, so you have your legit suspicions. Her best, and it just sounds suspicious. Like, I'm not a suspicious person when it comes to cheating, Robert. I'm really not. But that does sound sus. Her best friend is a male, 75 years old, and she's helped taking care of him, but she's not always there. Okay, sounds like a sugar daddy situation. I could be wrong. She could just be a caretaker, but if she's being super secretive about this friendship with a 75-year-old man, just doesn't sound very good at all. I think you have pretty strong intuition, and you're a smart guy. You're aware. You're looking at what's going on around you. You're not just pulling this from out of the ether, from out of nowhere. And this behavior is not normal. If I asked, she gets mad, says I don't trust her. That's gaslighting. Yeah, I said I just want. Yeah, well, that's why you asked, because you don't trust her, and she's given you no reason to trust her because she's not being transparent. I said I just want to make sure you're okay when I ask. No, I'm not cheating on her. I would do everything and put in all the work. Yeah, that's the vibe I got from you. I was really shocked when I misread that. I was like, really, Robert? You don't seem like the type, but. Yeah, that's the vibe I get, is you're not the type to cheat and you would put in work. Yeah, it just sounds like, yeah, it just sounds shady. I hear you, man. I hear you. I got you. it just sounds shady on her part. You know, I feel like you're onto something. I feel like you are onto something. I mean, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but especially with these cards that I'm seeing with this imbalance thing, it could also be she's flowing her energies towards someone else too. It could also be a signifier of that. Um, and like just going over it in my head, yeah. Like when you ask her where she's going out, does she tell you direct? She tells you like does she tell you directly? Yeah, I'm going to hang out with my 75-year-old friend, or she just doesn't tell you where she's going. No, I hear you, Robert. Maybe we're on a. Is there a time? Yeah, I think we're off sync, Robert. I hope it hasn't sounded like I've been accusing you of cheating this whole time. No, I hear you loud and clear. I misread you. You did not cheat. You have never cheated on her. I hear you. I trust. I believe. I actually found it hard to believe when I misread it. I was like, really? Like you've cheated on her? You said you weren't saying, you didn't say that you cheated on her. You were answering to another question I had asked. You said yes, and I did already, but you were answering another question, and I thought you were answering that. That's where the confusion came through. One of these days, the technology will be all up to speed, and we'll just be able to speak to each other back and forth. It is a sugar daddy. He's leaving her to the house. He's leaving her to the house. Yeah, there you go. So she's not letting go of this guy, this provider figure in her life, because she knows that you don't want him in her life, because there's a caveat with a provider. She's doing something. She's being physical with him. There's an exchange there, you know. At the very least, there's an exchange of energy. She's spending time with him. You just want her, so you don't mind her like having a sugar daddy? You just want to make sure she's safe? So if she said, "Yeah, I have a sugar daddy," you'd be okay with it? If that's the case, then you might very well be able to make this work, but you have to make sure you're really okay with that, you know. Sorry, one sec. Because maybe the case is she's, I don't know, afraid that you'll end things with her if she's transparent about this. But she should still be transparent with you. You guys have been together for 10 months. I don't know. This is what I'm talking about with that 10 of Wands, is that there's gonna be a lot of challenges here, in particular one that's gonna be very difficult to overcome. And if you can't trust her, how do you move forward here? You know, if you don't know where she's at emotionally or physically, and you guys aren't long distance, even you guys are right near each other, then how are you supposed to trust her at all? You know, she says she's going to different friends, and you just don't trust her because she's got this 75-year-old sugar daddy. I'm guessing that's why you don't trust her. But are you saying you don't mind if she has the sugar daddy so long as you know she's safe, or you're just, you can't? Because this is what I'm seeing is she's still seeing the sugar daddy. She still wants to keep you as her boyfriend, but she wants the sugar daddy as well because he's providing for her. And she wants her cake and she wants to eat it too. And so my question is, if she were honest with you and said, I am seeing this sugar daddy, which she sounds like she is, or if you were to ask her, are you seeing him, would she be honest with you? And if she was honest with you, would you be okay with that? Because it sounds like that's like the kicker here. She lived half the time with him and half the time with me. Okay, so she is seeing him. So you know that she's seeing him and she's just denying it. Yeah, and this is going to be something that you're going to have to think about, Robert. I mean, if because it sounds like she's not going to leave this guy. I want to make sure she's safe, but I want to move on if she's moved on. I don't think she's moved on to the sugar daddy. It sounds like the sugar daddy's been has the sugar daddy been in the picture longer than you guys have been together, or is this a new thing? Because I didn't get the sense that she was that she had feelings for another person, but I did get the sense that she was seeing another person. So I'm getting the sense that it's really a transactional thing. I'm not making excuses for her saying it's okay. I'm just saying this is what I'm seeing. Yeah, it sounds like sounds like trust is going to be hard to be reestablished here. Yeah, that's what you believe that she has feelings for this guy? Yeah, I don't. I don't think she has actual feelings for him, but I think she's attached to, the money, the arrangement that they have. And I don't know how long it's been going on for, but it sounds like it's pretty conditional for her. But that's not fair in the sense that, unless she made that clear to you, like, hey, I want to be with you, but I also have this arrangement. Is it okay if I see this guy? Is just, it's this transactional thing. But if that's not okay with you, and she's lying about it because she knows it's not okay with you, then I would suggest that you move on. Yeah, and that's what Spirit said with the Chariot. It's like it's time to move on. It would be in your best interest to move on. If you want to stay, like I said, if you want to stay and try and make this work, she's not going to push you away. But she's not. She won't put in her. She won't put in the work that she needs to put in, and she'll continue doing what she's doing. So it'll kind of just be, you can try, but it's not likely that she's going to reciprocate. There you go. You're not okay with it. You're not okay with her cheating. You're not okay with her having a sugar daddy, and it sounds like she knows that, and she's trying, but she still wants her cake, and she wants to eat it too. She wants to have you as well, and you're not okay with that. Yeah, Spirit's saying that you can, if you want, you can try and make this work, but she's likely not going to work with you, and you know it would probably be best to cut your losses because there's a lot of challenges here, and I know you love her a lot. I understand. I've definitely loved people in my life too, and sadly, it didn't always work out. Even though I loved them and they loved me, just because two people love each other doesn't necessarily mean they're supposed to be together at this time. It's they say love conquers all, and it does, but unless two people are really on board, um, sometimes external forces can be a factor, and it could just be a matter of timing too. Um, so right now it looks like I would recommend that you move on. If you want my advice, spirit's advice is the same. They think that you should move on. It's you can stay and work this out if you try and work this out if you want to, but you'll likely be met with defeat or opposition. Um, and I think she's also the type to say to be a lot of talk and not a lot of action. Like I think she if you came to her and said I want to work this out, she'd likely say yeah I want to work this out too, but continue doing. But then she'd continue doing what she's doing. And I feel like she's just kind of had this attitude for a while, like I can have what I want. I want him, but I want this too, and I can have it, and I'll keep taking it until it's taken away from me or pulled away from me, you know. Yes, longer than we've been together. Okay, so she yeah, that was the energy I got, that she's had this arrangement longer than the two of you have been together, and I'm not saying that that makes it deeper, that she likes him more. It's that she's reliant on his money. She's reliant, she's banking on getting this house once he's no longer with us on this planet. Um, she's not a very independent woman. I hate to put it that way, but she can live her life the way she wants, but she's also going to have to sacrifice true love if that's the case. If she's just going to I can't think of any guy that would put up with that. I really can't, unless they like were in on it in some way. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, Robert. You're all good. You're all good. There's no one in the chat, so I'm happy to continue talking to you. It's no problem. But you're very welcome, my friend. I wish you all the very best moving forward, and just always value yourself. I know you love her, but you got to value yourself too, and know what you're willing to put up with, and willing to what you're willing to put up with in a connection. You know, you're very worthy of of love, and being loved, and having a trusting relationship. All right, so we are all through with donations. So the donation queue is currently open. Whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you so much. Felicia! Hey girl, hey! How are you doing? Thank you! Yeah, it's actually my old logo, but I had it as a smaller one that I had as like an overlay on my old OBS when I was living in Pacifica. Hi! I'm actually at my parents' house today. I'm here until tomorrow. I'm going back home tomorrow. But that's this setup, so that's why I don't have the cards set up right now. That will be, well, not tomorrow because I can't go live tomorrow, but because I have my class at synagogue tomorrow, every Wednesday night. I was just reading my book here for my class for tomorrow. But I've been here, I came here for the weekend. Yeah, how are you doing, Felicia? Good to see you. Yeah, the logo I think looks good in big form, big formation. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm having a good hair day today. I used my mom's hair dryer. She has a different variation of the one that I have. We have the same brand. It like automatically just curls under, but hers has more of like an edge to it. So I want to get hers now. I want to get hers. Hers is better. Thank you. That is so kind of you, Felicia. Are you getting ready for the spooky season? Nice, lovely. I bet the weather's really nice where you are. See, we don't have autumn here. I saw a couple of crunchy brown leaves on the floor the other day near my work, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's autumn. I forgot. I was in New York this time last year, and it was really nice. It was very autumnal. Um, Not here. There's no autumn here. I wish I was in New York. Oh my gosh, I could have been in New York. I have no work this week. It's so weird. Well, I probably will end up picking up work, but I had a really free schedule with my other jobs. You're going to be a ghost. Fabulous, fabulous. I'm not doing anything. I was invited to a party. I might go. I don't know. I hate going to parties alone. I don't know if I can drag anyone with me. And I don't like, I honestly, you'd think someone like me would like getting dressed up, but I do and I don't. I don't really have any ideas. I guess I'm just a big old party pooper. I don't know. I remember last year I was going to go to a big party for Halloween when I was in New York, and we didn't end up going, sadly, but I did go to one Halloween party. That was fun. Yeah, I should have gone somewhere this week. I had nothing on my schedule, but oh well, c'est la vie. No regrets. But I did think about going somewhere this week. I did ask a friend of mine, but they were too busy to go anywhere. But I should have just gone somewhere myself. Oh well. I hardly ever dressed up as an adult. Always just the kiddos. Now my turn. Yeah, absolutely. Have some fun. Absolutely. I guess if I got, I always just default to not witch, but like Morticia Adams kind of vampire thing. That one's easy for me to do. I just put on a long black dress and roll with that. So if I end up going to a party this Friday, that's what I'll be doing. I was hoping to be working at a party this year, but nobody needed my services, I guess. I wanted to do tarot at a Halloween party, so I advertised, and I guess I didn't advertise in the right places, but I was going, and I was supposed to have a class actually this Friday night, and I was like, no, I'm gonna save it for my other job. So now I have Friday free. I don't want to be at home by myself on a Halloween. That's gonna be lame. So I've got to figure out something to do. Absolutely. I know. I remember years and years ago, I used to work at a publishing company right when I got out of college, and we had a tarot reader at my holiday party. I remember I wasn't going to go, and my manager was just like, you should go, Sophie. There's going to be, and she was trying to entice me because I had just gone through a breakup. I didn't have a date. I ended up bringing my gay best friend, but she was like, no, you should still go. You should go. There's going to be a tarot reader there. And I was like, and I wasn't a professional tarot reader at the time. I did it for my friends, but I definitely wanted a reading from another person. I was like, oh, really? So I went. I never even got a damn tarot reading. That woman must have made so much money that night. The line was out the door. So surprised you didn't get a gig. All those personalities and stuff going on. What do you mean, all those personalities and stuff going on? Personalities? I think it's, you know what, I think I don't know, I guess I didn't advertise well enough. Nobody responded to my, like, one person responded to my ad, and it was another tarot reader trying to get information from me. I'm like, bitch, no. But nobody else responded. Like, I didn't get any, like, hey, I'm having a party or whatever. Yeah, I did. You know what, girl? I looked up on Google. I said, how would I hire a tarot reader? I reverse searched it. I was like, how would I hire a tarot reader for a house party in San Francisco? And there's a whole company in San Francisco that does it. That's the thing. We lent some off the chart readings. Yeah, in person at parties, absolutely. But the thing is, I think there's already a company that, like, it was like it looked like a company of like 20 to 30 different readers who they like send out to different parties. And I couldn't figure out how to get involved with them. So I don't know. It feels like there's some kind of monopoly, kind of mafia type thing going on with in-person tarot readings. I could be wrong, but that's just something that I've noticed around here. Is it seems very hard to get to land in-person gigs. Did you ever get that job for that company that was hiring readers online? I did, and it wasn't successful. I haven't been on that website in forever. The first night I went on, I made decent money, and I was very surprised. I was like, okay, I'm brand new on here, and I'm doing okay. Second time I went on, I hardly made anything, hardly got any calls or texts. And the one, I think I gave like 3 readings, and one of the readings I got a negative review, so that was bad. So, and then I got a positive review, which helped me, and I got put on. I talked to my manager. I was like, "Is there any way I could be put like in the spotlight, like you do for other readers? How do I do that? Do I pay? What do I do?" And they were like, "Oh, we can do that for you next month." So they did, and I saw no improvement. I went on every single day that week. I still was getting like, it wasn't nearly like the first night I went on. I don't know. I don't know about that website, but so I don't know if I'll ever even go on again. Quite frankly, it just kind of wasn't really worth my time. It wasn't a waste of time per se, because I would just, it wasn't like this. Like, I could just leave my thing open and go about my day, and if I heard my computer go off, I could just run the computer and do the reading. But the problem is when you're reading for people and they're not seeing you shuffling the cards, they think you're wasting their time. They're like, why are you taking so long to type? Or why are you taking so long to speak to me? It's like, I'm shuffling the cards, and that takes a second. But because they're paying for every second, they see it as me trying to like milk them of money. It's really messed up. I can't read any other way. I'm not just going to pull cards out randomly. That's not how this works. At least not with me. So yeah, it didn't quite work out. Hopefully there's a few other websites that offer the same services. I applied for a couple other ones, didn't hear anything. This one was weird too. They at first denied me and said I didn't have enough education. I'm like, first of all, there is no formal education for what I'm doing. Second of all, I have a damn good formal education, so what the hell? And then I saw, like, 3 weeks later, I was checking my spam folder in my email, and I got a personal email from the hiring manager saying that she wanted me, despite the fact that I'd had 2 rejections from clearly robots. I was like, that is so weird. You would think your clients would understand the time investment, right? No, the clients on this website are really unhinged, girl. They're not regular. I mean, some of them do find regular readers that they go to, but a lot of them are really unhinged. A lot of them have just been through breakups, and they just want to hear what they want to hear. And if they hear, like, I had one client straight up tell me she broke up with her dude because she caught him cheating on her, and she asked, will he ever reach out to her again? And the answer was no. The answer was that he was with the girl that he cheated on her with. And she was like, no, they're not together. I'm like, okay, well then he's with another girl. He's with someone else is what I'm seeing. But the question was, will he reach out? The answer was no. and she left me a nasty review. Yeah, it was, she just wanted to hear what and I've noticed this with a lot of the clients on there. They just want to hear what they want to hear. And I get that occasionally on here, but people are always polite. They'll always still say thank you. I can tell sometimes when people are really hurt or disappointed by what they've heard, but I never get crap from people. And if I do, I kick them out of my room. Like, you're out of here. Like, that's, they know that I have their best, their best, I have the best intentions for them. I'm not trying to hurt them. But these people like think I'm trying to hurt them. It's really weird. Like, it seems like the only time people were ever happy was when I gave them a confirmation. Thank you. I would like to think so too, and I would provide. And that's the other problem too, is I wouldn't be. Oftentimes, I wouldn't have the time to provide that. I would have to just give, because they would have like a certain amount of time, like credit, and I'd be typing super duper fast what the answer was, and I would try to add, my 2 cents about my insight about how this was advantageous, or how their spirit guides had their back, this, that, and the other, how this was for the best. But it wouldn't give me, I wouldn't have the time to do it. That would be another factor, actually. I didn't even think about that, Felicia. I didn't even consider that. But oftentimes I wouldn't even, or they would click off before I even had the time to add, like, well, and I also see this, blah, blah, blah. They would just click off. So it's, when it's like two people typing to each other, it's really discordant, you know? Um, but even when I was doing it like over audio or video, it was the same way. A lot of the time, people, um, I mean, I know I need to build rapport with readers, but I do it slowly and surely. Like, that's why I'm always so thorough with every reading that I give, whether it's someone who I've read for many times or someone who's brand new. I want them to know that I'm not just giving them an answer. I'm here to give them context behind the answer as well. That's what I thought. You had a limited time and we're spending time typing. That's time consuming. Exactly. And especially when I had long nails too, I was, all over the place and having to, it was really stressful. And then that would add to the stress and make it more difficult. And then I'd be trying to, like, do this as quickly as possible. And then people aren't happy with their answers. It was a really frustrating thing. And, yeah, when people are paying by the second, they don't want a second wasted, which is just kind of inconsiderate when they should know that, how this works. And I think a lot of them don't. I think a lot of them are not tarot regulars. I think a lot of the clients on there are fresh trauma people, and they're grasping at straws for answers. And a lot of them are new to tarot and don't know, the sacredness behind it, and the power behind it, and just want to hear what they want to hear. The other thing is, when your heart is broken, you can't hear or believe clearly. Exactly. That's what I mean by they're unhinged. They're like freshly out of trauma, and yeah, you just can't think or see clearly when you're just rattled like that. You just want to get away from the pain by any means necessary, which may mean not. Exactly. And I think a lot of people who are not familiar with tarot think that we're soothsayers. They think that we're here to tell them, like, oh, even though he's not talking to you and hasn't talked to you for 3 months, he's still thinking about you. I have the intel. I can tell you that he's still thinking about you. And if that's the case, I'll tell them. But, more likely than not, if you haven't heard from someone in a really, really long time, chances are that you might not be on their mind. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, down the line. People do pop up out of the blue from our past. It's true. But when people are freshly out of a breakup, which was a lot of people I got, that tells me that, they're not so much tarot people so much as they are just looking for comfort. And that's not what I'm here for. I am here for comfort. I'm here for clarity. I'm here to provide clarity and insight, which will hopefully lead to someone's comfort. But that needs to be processed within you, within my clients. I still remember my journey. I met you very early in my journey, and I'm so blessed to have found you and others. Oh, absolutely. I'm blessed to have found you, and you have found me 100%. Yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been, I think I started reading for you, like, yeah, right when I started my channel around that time. And it's been almost 5 years. So yeah, it's definitely been a journey, and even with me too, looking back at where my life was and who I was when I first started the channel, and the reader I was when I first started the channel, and the reader I've become today. Because we all develop and we all grow and throughout time, and it's fun to watch some of my earlier, because I keep all of my old live streams. I haven't deleted any of them. It's fun to watch some of the much earlier live streams and see how I may have read things differently, or how I read things exactly the same. Conversely, sometimes I assume that I'm going to watch old live streams of mine, and I'll think like that I'm going to answer something differently. Like I'll often pause it before I say the answer, but oftentimes it's the same answer that I would say today. Quite frankly, um, some things have changed, some things not so much. Even with like definitions of cards, like the Seven of Wands, I used to always see the Seven of Wands as like a jealousy card, pure and simple. Now I see it as more like self-defense, or like finding a need to defend something, or finding a cause to defend. But then I was studying the card a couple of nights ago. I always restudy cards, bone up on new definitions, and it was one of the first definitions I saw was there may be people jealous of your success. So I was like, okay, so I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong with that. I always got the Devil, Seven of Swords, and other icky cards with my ex. I could see it once it stopped hurting, belittling myself, and or believing his lies. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, he's been trouble. He's been trouble since day one. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was always those nasty cards coming out with him. Um, and yeah, it's hard to reconcile the truth in that when we still have feelings attached. Yeah, totally. So I have been on for 2 hours now, so it is that time of night when I do a last call for any and all donations. I will not be on tomorrow. I will not be on tomorrow, so if you have a question that you need answered, tonight is the night, now is the time. Good night, sweet Felicia. Thank you so much for being here. Much love and light to you. Sleep well tonight. Last call tonight for any and all donations. All my donation information can be found. Wait, do I even have it? Did I have it posted at the top of this chat? I don't even know if I did. Oh, I didn't even have it pinned. Well, now it is. Sorry about that. Well, now all my donation information is pinned at the top of the chat. It's also found in the body of the video. But if you have a question that you need me to answer for you tonight, now would be the time. Thank you so very much. And we will be back to our regular setup come Thursday. You will be able to see the card table again. We will return to that format. And hopefully I will find a solution for this microphone, this audio situation here on my laptop. Like I said, I got a new microphone for it actually a while ago, like a year ago, and it didn't end up being compatible with this, so I need to find one. And if anyone has any suggestions, that'd be great too. Last call tonight, last call for any and all donations. If you have a question, now is the time to ask. Thank you very much. I will not be on tomorrow. If I am on tomorrow, I'd be on surprisingly early, but I would be very surprised if I was on tomorrow. Just saying. But who knows? Who knows? Hit that note. Keep that notification bell on. That way you will know each and every time I go live. I try to go on around the same time every day, but it's hit or miss. Like today, I think I started at 4:45. Actually, it might have been later than that, if I'm not mistaken. Last call, everybody. Last call for all donations tonight. Thank you. Thank you. All right. It looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all so very much. Like I said, I will likely not see y'all tomorrow. I will do my best. If I do, I'll be on a little earlier. But I will see y'all Thursday. All right. Bye. Good night.